Welcome to the DraftKings Daily Trot. I'm Jason Gilbo at JGilbo11. With me is Russell Clay at Russell J. Clay. Taking a look at tonight's 10-game slate, which does feature quite a handful of kind of pay-up pitching options, so value is certainly going to be a key here. But overall, definitely a lot of options you can still target, even with the pitching.
Right. Certainly going to be based on, especially in cash, how you're going to configure around these big-time pitchers. So something to take into account at the very least.
Yeah, it definitely is. Orioles and Nationals, first one here, Wade Miley versus Tanner Roark. First thing I noticed when I looked at the slate was that the Orioles prices are much more friendlier here on DraftKings than they are on FanDuel. Against Roark, Roark doesn't scare me off the Orioles bats, but it's not something I'm just going to be jumping all over to get a ton of exposure to.
No, and I mean, you look at Hyun-Soo Kim, obviously that's probably one of the guys you're talking about in terms of value. 2,900, definitely like that against Roark. And you certainly like Chris Davis in a tournament sense at 4K. So certainly two guys you like with the splits considered.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the lefties there. I don't mind Adam Jones at 3,500. Certainly reasonable. Trumbo at 41 with his upside, but obviously Trumbo's certainly more of a GPP play. And I even don't mind if you want kind of punt a catcher. Matt Wieters at 29 is okay with me as well.
Yeah, and Machado probably a little out of the price range at 46, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I like using him at shortstop. I still don't always mind that. I mean, that's something I'd look to use because I do like Donaldson's price at 4,400. So I'd probably go, if I am going that route, it's going to be Machado at short. So, as far as the Nationals bats go, I mean, obviously you like picking on Miley with a lot of right-handed bats, 344 WOBA allowed, 1.17 home runs per nine, the righties. Jason Worth, 4.8, Turner, 5K, expensive, but those are kind of the top tier options in this offense.
Yeah, Turner and Worth. Worth definitely a cash game guy for me. I like Turner as well. Wilson Ramos, love those prices here for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Ramos is a guy, 4K is certainly reasonable. Danny Espinosa, 3,800 in GPP. It's worth a look. Zimmerman, Rendon, a little bit pricey for me, but obviously I don't mind their numbers still against lefties.
Yep.
So,
absolutely.
Overall, Washington, kind of one of our favorite teams to target and go after Miley here.
Yeah, 1 through 8 too. So certainly a lineup you can pick apart from every position, basically.
Yeah, definitely. Blue Jays and Angels next here. You got Marco Estrada taking on Matt Schumacher. We talked about Matt Schumacher. I mean, on the road this year, kind of a different guy. 341 WOBA to right-handers, 1.65 home runs per nine since last year. Toronto bats really priced down here for the most part. I mean, Encarnacion 44, Donaldson 44, Martin 4K, Tulowitzki 4.6, a little bit pricey, but I don't mind those right-handed bats at all.
Yeah, I think you have to like him quite a bit actually. No, only Tulo over 46. So Encarnacion definitely a guy I'm looking at here. Devon Travis, if he's in the lineup at 35 is a nice price, but if he's not, we'll be interested to see, who is up there because obviously Barney yesterday at Min was a nice value.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I think the cash game guys here are certainly worthy of a Donaldson Encarnacion, even a Martin with the way he's been playing of late. So, as far as the Angels go, I mean, Cole Calhoun, Albert Pujols continuously are the value that you can take a look at. But on a slate like tonight, I'm not going to completely rule out, the Nick Buss, the Caleb Cowart, the punt plays if you want to dive in a GPP to kind of pay up for that next tier bat just because of the pitching.
Yeah, no, I agree today. Obviously we saw Buss taking it to me yesterday and taking it out. So, I still don't trust his last name, but certainly has some home run potential. Cole Calhoun is starting to feel like a trap here. At 29, it is a nice price, but he just hasn't been hitting of late. So, especially in this type of matchup, I'm not sure if he's someone you want to target.
No, I think he's strictly just more GPP type. Because as you mentioned, I mean, really a boomer bust guy. I mean, it hasn't really shown off a couple of home runs. But outside that stretch earlier in August, I mean, he had a couple of homers, but outside of that, nothing since then.
Yep.
So overall, Angels never a fan favorite here on the pod.
No, they're not, are they?
Red Sox and Rays next here. Menendez versus Rick Porcello. Obviously, Rick Porcello has dominated the Rays this year, has been very solid overall. Good pitchers parked there. Not looking to get a ton of exposure, but I do like Kevin Kiermaier at 29. I do like Brad Miller at 39. That's about it, though.
Yep, agreed. Nice tournament spots. Kiermaier's a nice sort of swerve for top end pitching in tournaments as well.
Yeah, definitely. And as far as the Red Sox go, I mean, I like Pedroia at 3,600. I think that's certainly a reasonable price for him. Even Bogart's 4.4, Bradley 4.5. I think those are nice values. I mean, obviously Ortiz and Betts are still fine pay up options, but we don't really need to say that. I think it's just kind of obvious at this point.
Yeah, we don't need to say you need to play Ortiz sometimes against righties. That's just, whatever. But yeah, I love that Pedroia price. He's probably my favorite in that lineup. 36, so that's really nice.
Yeah, it definitely is. Not something I'm jumping all over. They're not my favorite offense, but they are still going to be one I do target at a moderate amount.
Definitely.
So, Royals and Marlins next year. Jose Fernandez versus Dylan G. Royals are priced down here. Alex Gordon's still 3,900, so he was priced down from yesterday.
Yeah, they're just not. They are priced down, but they're usually pretty value, like solid values, and this just isn't enough for me. If they were like at 23, 2,500, maybe I'd start to take a look, but this just isn't enough for me.
No, I don't think so. I mean, when we talked about Pedroia, I mean, we've talked about a couple of guys in the Blue Jays lineup, like a Martin. I just feel like even though they're a little bit higher, they're still a little bit better values just given the matchup.
Yep.
But on the Marlins side, I mean, D. Gordon, reasonable price at 4,400. Martin Prado, 37. Yelich is expensive at 4.9, but I think he is certainly worth a look here against G. G struggles against both sides of the plate, but mainly lefties, 389 WOBA, so that sets up Gordon and Yelich pretty nicely.
That's where I'm going. Yep, take the lefties here. And they were cash game viable for you on FanDuel. Are they here as well? I think D. Gordon definitely is for me. I don't know about Yelich at 49.
Yeah, but just because of pitching, I don't think I'm going to be quite being able to squeeze him in. If it works out, sure. But I haven't got to the point where I can probably maybe dig down enough to fit him in. He's not like a must play or anything. He's just in a solid spot.
Really solid spot. Yep.
Rangers and Reds in Great American Ballpark. Rangers disappointed yesterday. Obviously come off with some cheap prices. Edelman against lefties, obviously small sample size, but low ground ball rate, a little bit of a home run proneness there. I like Beltran at 3,500. I think that's certainly a reasonable option. Odor 4-1 if you want to pay up at second base, I'm okay with that. But outside of that, I'm not loving Beltran. I'm not loving Desmond. Lucroy 5Ks out of my range.
I'm not even fully loving Beltran, but at 35, I think you have to at least take a look in terms of value and a splits perspective. So I'm probably gonna be firing away with him in tournaments, but I don't love it overall. I don't like that Lucroy price either, though. Even though he is a solid play.
Yeah, I think just price considered on the slate, it's not something I'm getting exposure to. And on the red side, I'm not really looking to use anyone here. One, Votto's priced up way too high. He'd obviously be the bat you would like. Duvall, Billy Hamilton, the strikeout rates, their overall ability to get on base, not quite there for me against Darvish.
No, definitely not.
Phillies White Sox next here, and Gerard Eichhoffer's James Shields. Phillies are priced up like they are facing James Shields, so it's a little bit of a bummer. They're not quite the value that they are over on FanDuel, but I still do like them. I do think they're certainly in play, but as far as being the pay-up options that they are, I think it's more of a GPP move.
Well, and they're sort of in the same situation as the White Sox with their first baseman, where I like both. I could see Ryan Howard as a tournament guy. I could see Tommy Joseph as, potentially a cash guy. So I think both of those guys are definitely in play at first. And as well as, Justin Morneau at 29. So it's kind of like, this is where I'm looking for, my first baseman.
See, and I like the White Sox bats here quite a bit in comparison to the Phillies in this game, just because Adam Eaton, 3,700, Melky Cabrera, 29, Morneau, 29. I mean, three lefties right there, and with Eichhoff struggles against left-handers and struggles on the road, those are really nice values, and those are cash game playable for me, just because I think if you want to dive into high-price pitching, those are three guys that you're probably going to certainly have to look at.
Yeah, and even Todd Frazier is a friendly little 3,100 price here. So I think we might be looking at White Sox for the second straight day. In terms of this though, it's not like the White Sox are projected for 3.5 runs. I mean, Vegas has them at 5. I'm pretty satisfied with these prices,
Yeah, I am.
even in cash. Yeah.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, Morneau takes off a lot of salary. Melky Cabrera takes off a lot of salary. I mean, Eaton at 3.7 certainly reasonable. I like those quite a bit. I think I think with Morneau being 1,100 less than Abreu, I think Abreu is a little bit taken out of play for me here. But I don't mind it either.
Right.
So. Tigers and Twins next here. Matt Boyd versus Tyler Duffy. Tigers are reasonably priced as well here. I mean, Miguel Cabrera 4.4 is certainly not killing you against a reverse splits pitcher. Same thing with Kinsler. JD Martinez is priced up a little bit. Justin Upton, his usual kind of sub 3K price. I like those quite a bit. I think they're worthy for a stack, and I think outside of Upton, I think they're cash game playable.
Agreed. I as you mentioned, you're the guy on Cabrera tonight, but I do like him as well. Kinsler's solid, and Victor Martinez at that price is really nice as well. So, certainly looking at those guys, and again, I think we're looking at Dozier. Ooh, we're looking at Dozier, but not really.
Oh, you walked into that. You wanted that shirt in the mall, and you looked at it, and you're like, oh, that's a price tag that I don't feel comfortable playing today.
I'll be honest, I hadn't looked at Twins other than on FanDuel. You guys just saw me get blindsided by a truck. All right.
Yeah, you're
or a dozer, a dozer of some sort.
You ordered the steak, and you went out on a date, and you racked up the bill. You're like, all right, things are going good here. Everything matches up. All right.
My
goodness. Oh man.
And then you put the debit card down, and they come back and say your card got rejected, and then that's what happened to me here. I'm not going to have the budget tonight for Dozier, sadly. Even though he does hit home runs a lot lately. That's
great analysis.
It is a good matchup. It is a good matchup, but I'm just not going to have, based on the pitching and such, I'm not going to have the cap for him. I guess that is a good contrarian play, but overall, I don't think you can play him. I'd look at Sano.
Yeah, Sano's a much more reasonable price. Same thing with Trevor Plouffe. I think those are reasonable shots at GPPs, just price considered. But yeah, I'm not against Dozier if you are paying up and kind of being weird in tournaments.
Yeah.
Mets and Cardinals next year. Carlos Martinez versus Jacob deGrom. As we kind of stayed on FanDuel, this is really one to just maybe sort out the big names and kind of be done with it. Because I don't mind Cespedes, I don't mind Bruce in the GPP format. Martinez isn't a guy where I'm like, oh, I'm completely looking the other way here. I'm not targeting anyone against him. I feel like you can take a look at him in GPPs.
Right. Yeah. GPP format. Love Jay Bruce as a nice sneaky guy you might get, 10% or lower exposure to. So Matt Carpenter as well. But again, beyond that, I don't think we're really looking at anything, especially the end of these lineups. I don't think there's any need for that tonight.
Yeah, I definitely don't think so either. So definitely going to be one of the lower scoring games and kind of one to stay away for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Braves and Diamondbacks here, Julio Teheran versus Zach Greinke. Here, I mean, Freeman's priced up like he usually is. It's kind of just for me. I'm staying away from Braves tonight, especially at their prices. I mean, Coyote 4.5. I know Greinke's been bad at home, but as far as ranking them in the offense, I don't feel comfortable using a lot of these price guys.
Right. I just think they're a little overpriced for the pitcher they're facing. Obviously, Greinke hasn't been great at home, but this is still the Braves. I don't see them getting 5 runs per game going forward. They are better, but not. They're still the Braves.
Yeah, and as far as the Diamondbacks go, I mean, I'm not really jumping at playing Segura or Goldschmidt. Jake Lamb at 3,900 might be the guy I'd take a look at, obviously coming off a solid night, but really overall his recent stretch has truly been awful. But look at Teheran, who's obviously struggled against lefties in his career, since 2015, 1.56 home runs per 9. I don't mind Lamb in a tournament.
Yeah, Lamb and Bourne are okay with me. But yeah, again, I think we've had a few good nights in a row with the Diamondbacks, and I don't think tonight's quite as juicy as those were.
No, I don't think so either. Dodgers and Giants next one here. Corey Seager, Justin Turner Gonzalez, all overpriced for me in the matchup. I didn't mind him on FanDuel taking shots in GPPs, but those are priced up way too high for me, I think.
Yeah, I like Seager, but at 5K, that's a little steep for me. Justin Turner's okay, but overall, yeah, I'm probably not getting much exposure to this team.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, maybe a Yasmani Grandal, but that's about it. I mean, Cueto hasn't had the cleanest of outings of late either.
And yeah, I know all you were looking at that Josh Reddick at 3K price. Don't do it.
No, don't do it at all.
No.
As far as Giants go, I mean, we talked about Rich Hill kind of possibly being a guy who maybe shows a little bit of rust for a guy who hasn't pitched in a little over a month. Hunter Pence, Buster Posey, probably the two right-handers I would maybe toss in the GPP. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm okay with Posey at 4K tonight in the tournament. But overall, not too appealing. Like you mentioned, though, Punter Hence at 34, not a bad value there at all.
Yeah, Punter Hence is certainly a solid play there. It's for my Murphy Harper joke that you got me yesterday. So
yeah, no, that was
Murphy Harpy. I think it came back to bite you.
I had to just keep going with it at that point because I was like, well, I already screwed up. So
I'm in too deep.
Yeah, I might as well finish it off.
That's going to wrap things up with the DraftKings Daily Trot. Be sure to check out DailyFantasyCafe.com for all our great tools and content.